And welcome to day 26 of the Boat and RV 100 series. I'm Joe Downs with the Storage Moguls, and today I'm opening Section 3, Financing and Acquisition, with the defining challenge of this vertical. Most banks have never underwritten one of these deals, and your first job before they say yes is to make them feel comfortable with what they're looking at. This is the part of the process where a lot of investors get stuck, not because the deals don't pencil, because they don't know how to have the lender conversation. That's exactly the kind of thing we help you work through at storagemoguls.ai. A mogul isn't just someone who owns a storage facility. A mogul is a sophisticated operator, someone who understands the full arc from finding a deal to running one. That's the standard we hold ourselves to, and that's what we're here to teach. We don't just buy storage, folks. We acquire and optimize. That distinction might sound small, but it tends to show up as tens of thousands of dollars per deal when you get right into it. And we're made of real people, entrepreneurs that are husband and wife teams, partners, even solopreneurs are actively in it. Nobody here graduated to a stage and stopped doing the work either. We're evaluating real deals right now. Acquisitions between 400 grand and 2 million. They're financeable, they're digestible. You can take them down. And we'll walk you through how. Members in this community are becoming storage moguls, not someday, right now. So if you want to be a part of it, go to storagemoguls.ai. That's where we are. You can start for free. You can move along at your own pace. And we're going to have fun. All right, let's get into today's episode because the lender education problem is real, but it's not a deal killer. It's a preparation problem. The lenders who've never seen a boat and RV deal aren't opposed to making one. They're unfamiliar with the asset and the seasonal pattern. Your job is to make them familiar or make the unfamiliar feel familiar. Every concern in the left column, summer occupancy, thin comps, seasonal cash flow, it's got a legitimate answer. You have those answers from Section 2. The lender conversation is the exercise of translating what you know about this asset into language a banker can underwrite. The key insight, once a lender does a boat and RV deal, they're going to want more. They've built the internal model now. They've gotten the approval through the credit committee. They've seen the loan perform at a future date. Finding a lender who has done one before is a competitive edge worth pursuing, and building that relationship is the primary objective of this section, Section 3. We essentially have 5 lender types. Not all of them are realistic for boat and RVs, though. Knowing which ones to target saves you significant time. So starting with national banks, this is a low probability. Their underwriting standards are rigid. Credit committees aren't built for non-standard commercial real estate, and the seasonal cash flow pattern will get flagged and likely decline. So don't start there. Regional banks are possible, but only if they have experience with outdoor storage. Ask directly before you submit anything. Literally, has your institution underwritten outdoor vehicle storage before? If yes, maybe it's workable. If no, you're the educational experiment and their credit committee may not be ready. Community banks are your highest probability because they are portfolio lenders who don't sell to the secondary market, and they have relationship-driven underwriting with local market knowledge. They'll have flexibility on seasonal cash flow interpretation because they understand local recreational patterns. This is where you want to start. Credit unions are worth exploring, particularly those with a history of vehicle-related lending. Some have made outdoor storage deals work through their commercial lending programs. And of course, SBA lenders are an option. We've covered them in depth on day 28. We will cover them in depth on day 28. The SBA program can work, but the lender's experience with outdoor storage matters as much as the program structure. Finding the right community bank is a sourcing exercise, just like finding the right deal. You're looking for a lender with experience, not just willingness. The boat and RV dealer floor plan angle is the highest yield starting point. The bank that finances a dealer's floor plan inventory knows the outdoor recreation market, understands the vehicle values, and has lending infrastructure already pointed at this customer base. So ask the dealer who does your floor plan financing. Walk in and introduce yourself to that banker. Warm introductions from other operators are faster than cold calls. If you know another boat and RV operator in your region, or from the Storage Moguls community, from a dealer referral, from a marina relationship, ask where they financed. A referral from a performing borrower opens doors that a cold submission never will. FDIC Bank Find is a free tool that lists every federally insured bank by county. Search for community banks active in your target market and call their commercial lending departments directly. Ask the first question straight. Has your institution made a commercial loan on an outdoor vehicle storage facility? Your commercial real estate attorney knows who's done these deals locally as well, because they probably closed them. Ask them. LinkedIn is underused for this as well. A community bank commercial lender who has outdoor storage experience usually lists it in their profile. It takes 20 minutes to search and can surface a warm lead. Or, I'm going to do a little AI plug here, set up a Claude Cowork or Manus agent to go find you a lender on LinkedIn that has exactly that listed in their profile. Little tip for you there. All right. You'll generally face 6 lender concerns. You have an answer for every one of them because you built the answers in section 2 already. If you didn't watch that yet, if this is your first video, go back and watch section 2. How do I value this? Your 4-year layer NOI is the model is the answer. In-place NOI, stabilized NOI, enhanced NOI with the value-add thesis and downside case. The written comp argument supplements it. It's all in section 2. Go back and watch it or rewatch it. Together, they give the lender a valuation framework that doesn't depend on direct transaction comps. What is normal occupancy? Well, the 24-month monthly model with seasonal annotations is your answer. The summer trough labeled, vehicles in active use, normal seasonal pattern. The fall spike explained as HOA-driven structural demand. 2 years of consistent pattern is predictability, and predictability is bankable. How do I underwrite the vacancy? Monthly seasonal assumptions by period, 90 to 100% in the fall, 65 to 80% in the summer. Again, covered it all in section 2. The lender's flat vacancy assumption doesn't apply here. Show them why with the trailing data. Is the market real? Well, you got supply gap data for a specific county. You got HOA density, registration to spaces ratio, the market overview section of your lender package. Does this work for you? Can the borrower operate it? Well, your operator credentials, you're going to show them your operator credentials, your approach to the service standard, your management team. This is as much about underwriting the person as the asset. And then finally, what are the comps? Well, whatever you assembled. Adjacent transactions, self-storage as a frame, rent comps, 3 imperfect comps beat an empty section every time. Remember that. The first lender meeting should feel like a conversation, not a pitch. You're there to introduce yourself, introduce the asset class, and establish that you're a prepared, credible operator. The loan approval, that comes later. Bring a 1-page market summary, some supply gap data for the county, HOA density, registration to spaces ratio. This is the context that makes everything else make sense. Bring the pro forma, but don't lead with it. Lead with the market story. The numbers support the narrative. They don't replace it. Bring photos. Most community bank lenders might not have ever visited a boat and RV facility, so you might need to show them what it looks like. Photos of the site, the access, the drive aisles, the amenities, the tenant mix. It makes the asset real for them. Bring your operator story. Why are you in this vertical? What experience do you have with the asset class, directly or adjacent? What's your management approach? Lenders in this vertical are underwriting the person as much as the property. Don't bring a deadline. Lender who feels pressured before they're comfortable with will decline faster than a lender who's given time to build a conviction. Patience at the front end closes more loans than urgency. Here's the long game perspective on the lender education problem. The work you do to educate the first lender compounds. The first deal is the hardest. You're building the relationship, educating the credit committee, establishing the template, and getting the loan through a process that has never seen this asset class. Most likely. That takes time and preparation. The second deal with the same lender is going to be materially easier. The model exists. The credit committee has seen it. You might have a track record as a borrower by then, making payments, maintaining the asset, operating to the standard you described. You'll have those credentials second time around. The conversation that took 3 meetings the first time is going to take 1 the second time. The long-term relationship is worth even more. A community bank lender who has done 2 or 3 boat and RV deals through you is invested in your success. They understand the asset. They may proactively bring you opportunities they hear about. That relationship is a competitive advantage that other investors in your market don't have. The implication, start building the lender relationship before you have a specific deal to finance. The operator who walks into a lender meeting with a deal that needs to close in 60 days is at a disadvantage compared to the one who's already had 3 conversations about the asset class over the prior 6 months. The lender education problem is a filter, not a wall. The operators who understand it and prepare for it close deals. The ones who walk in unprepared and expect the bank to figure it out, they get declined. Worse, you get carried along and then declined later when it's too late. Target the right lender. Community bank, portfolio lender, local market knowledge, ideally one who has done outdoor storage before. Don't waste time on national banks. Prepare fully, which means market overview with supply gap story, 4-layer pro forma with seasonal annotations, operator credentials, just like we talked about in section 2. Come as the expert in the asset class because you are. Build the relationship early. Don't wait until you have a deal under contract to find a lender. The operator who's already had 3 market education conversations with the community bank lender before submitting a loan package is operating in a completely different position. All right, next up, day 27, how to walk your lender through a boat and RV deal. The exact package you hand your banker and what needs to be in it. Because tomorrow we go deeper on exactly what goes in the lender package. The document you hand your banker needs to do the educating for you. All right, please like this video if the lender strategy gave you a clear path forward on financing this side of the vertical. Subscribe so you don't miss days 27. That's the lender package episode where we build the actual document that does the educating for you. And share this across every social media platform you have so as many people as you know as possible can see what you're up to, including potential lenders. Believe me, they're looking up your socials when they first make contact with you or you make it with them. The lender education problem is solved the same way every other problem in this vertical is solved, with preparation, with the right information delivered in the right sequence, and with patience. That's the game. The operators who play it well close deals, others don't. And StorageMoguls.ai has the full lender package, template, and community to work through it with you. Section 3 is where deals get financed or they don't. So stay with us through it. The operators who understand financing close more deals faster at better terms. Join Storage Moguls. Get the loan. Close the deal. StorageMoguls.ai. See you tomorrow.